Good afternoon and welcome into YouTube Live at Northeast Generals Academy hockey action for this afternoon's NAPHL hockey game featuring the visiting Maine Nordiques and your U18 Northeast Generals Academy team. On the call with you this afternoon, Ezra Janello, and we have a good matchup. The Maine Nordiques Academy program, one of the top in the nation, and the Generals Academy program also atop the leaderboards. Last week for the Generals, they went 3-0 down in Connecticut in tournament play, and out in Blaine, Minnesota 2 weeks ago at the NAPHL Showcase. They went an even 2-2. Their starter tonight is John Feely for the Generals. This year, Feely has 2 games played with a 2.0 goals against average and an .833 save percentage. Before this year, well, he also played U18 AAA games, 7 games played, a .418 goals against average, and a .900 save percentage. He's spent some time here in Northeast and Attleboro with the Generals since 2020, 2021. He's climbed up from the 16U team up to the 18U team, and hopefully for John Feely, he makes his way up to the NA3 and then eventually the NA program here in Attleboro. For the Nordiques, they're going to go with Braxton Castagno. Castagno this year, he's played in NAPHL 18U games and 18U AAA games, 30 games played last year in 18U AAA games with an .894 save percentage, an .837 goals against average. This year, 3 games played, a 2.0 goals against average, and an .882 save percentage. We're just about ready to get underway here on the secondary rink at the New England Sports Village. It's the Generals and the Nordiques. Players are in the circle. For the Generals, Ryan Sachs and Will Marcotte. For the Nordiques, officials drop the puck, and we're underway. Nordiques possess off the face-off. They're wearing their road blues, blue helmets, jerseys, and pants with red socks. The Generals, they're going left to right across your screen in their home white uniforms, white helmets, jerseys, and socks with those blue pants. Liam Hellinger will send it into the far side corner. It's stopped behind the cage by the netminder. That's Castagno. Now up the far side wall, pinching down and laying a hit. That was Drew Weston, and he gets pushed back down into the near side corner. Quickly on it, Quinn Hollingsworth alongside Ryan Sachs looking for possession. Pushed up the near side half wall up towards the blue line, and making his way out of the zone was the forward Connor Corcoran, but quickly there Shane Stone to regroup with Weston. Back in his own end, Weston back for Shane Stone behind John Feely, pushed back up that far side wall, back into the corner where it's picked up by Corcoran and moved up towards the blue line. His number's sake for the Generals, Connor Jalbert will send it into the far side corner. Quickly on it, the defenseman, that's Anderson Sundquist. Back to Jalbert, now up to the blue line, not able to keep it in the zone is Ryan Cox. He's going to leave it for John Feely. Back to Cox behind his own net, pressured hard by the forward-checking Nordique, Owen Trevino. Near side now, Trevor Riggs. He'll gain the red line, throw it in, and finishing the job was Brendan Woleski. Riggs absorbed a hit, but the saying goes, take a hit to make a play, and he did just that. Now a long shot on net. Came off the stick of Cox and held onto by the netminder Braxton Castagno with 16:20 remaining in this first period. So we'll get our first look at this third line for the Generals. It's Wyatt Magruder centering Angelo Perillo and Enzo Giuliani. Magruder won the faceoff. Now Riggs near side, a shot, he scores! Trevor Riggs makes it 1-0 Generals with a blast from the near side, top of the circle. Trevor Riggs, 6 feet tall, 230 pounds. A 2005 birth year out of Grand Haven, Michigan. And he gives the Generals the early 1-0 lead. A style of play that head coach Eric Projan likes to play, fast, physical, and of course, playing from ahead. Magruder in the faceoff circle. He wins another one back. Up the near side wall. It's picked up by Perillo. Owen Fleming in, helps out, pushed back down to where the defenseman Garrett Greenwood pushes up to Giuliani. Now Perillo into the offensive zone, back to Giuliani. He takes a hit, but pushes it to the near side corner. And we'll get a whistle. And the Generals are going to go on the power play. So with a fresh 1-0 lead, it's Connor Corcoran who's going to sit 2 minutes for interference with 15:49 remaining in this first period. Of course, this isn't the last game of the day. We got 2 this afternoon, both between the Generals and the Nordiques. Right here, we have the 18U Academy teams going at it. Then at 7 p.m. on Hockey TV. And on the primary rink here at the Village, the NA teams will go at it. Of course, the Generals NA program last weekend picked up 2 wins in 2 tries against the Johnstown Tomahawks in the first 2 home games of this new season. The Nordiques last time out, that big 7-0 win over the 17U USN TDP program out at the NAHL Showcase. On the power play, Ryan Cox near side of the blue line, thrown in front, tipped by Ryan Sachs up high and into the glove of the netminder Castagno, with 1:32 remaining in the interference call to Corcoran. I'll be on the call of that Hockey TV NAHL game. Brett Schaubs will join me at 7 p.m. The Generals look to make it 3 straight before the 2 teams head back up north to Maine for the second leg of this home-and-home. Cox will push it back low off the face-off. Giuliani holds in the slot. He'll hold on the far side now, put the brakes on. Cuts down towards the top of the circle. Quick shot off the blocker of Castagno. Rebound's cleared up to the blue line where it's held on to. Now near side, Cox. Down low, finds a teammate in front looking for Sachs. Throwing the pass was Brendan Woleski. Goes the way of Connor Jalbert, who's now at the far side hash marks. Into the slot for Sachs. Bats it out of midair. No high stick, says the official. And it gets cleared down the length of the ice where John Feely will come out of his cage and leave it for Cox. Both teams execute line changes. Cox will leave his own zone, drops it off for Jalbert. Jalbert up the near side, gains the red line, now the offensive zone. Jalbert still with it, taking off his stick. That's the defenseman Cameron DeLuzio, but they aren't able to get out of their own end as Jalbert refines it on the far side of the blue line. Connor Jalbert down to the circle, a long shot into the chest and held on to by Castagno with 37 seconds remaining in the power play. Still 1-0 for the Generals. It was Trevor Riggs from this near side of the top of the circle, picking the top near corner of the net, giving his team the lead. Now Drew Weston, far side, goes down low to a Hellier brother, back up to Weston, far side of the blue line, back down low in the slot. He was looking for the other Hellier brother. That was Liam Hellier in the slot and Aiden Hellier down in the corner. Now Liam Hellier back into the offensive zone. Hellier wearing that orange number 18 on his back. Pushes it up to Drew Weston, far side of the blue line. Weston across, Owen Fleming now. Fleming back to Weston, far side, top of the circle shot. Rebound goes past Aiden Hellier and into the corner. Back to even strength. The Nordiques look to get out of their own zone. They're not able to. Quick shot from Hollingsworth gets turned aside. Now the Hellier brothers in front. Whistle blows, no goal, says the official. He'll say the net came off its moorings. And so the Generals, who had the momentum and were moments away from making it 2-0, will instead get an offensive zone faceoff. .40 to go in this first period. We'll see Nick Constantine in the faceoff circle. He takes on Marcotte for the Nordiques, won by Constantine and the Generals. Now a long shot from the blue line, came off the stick of Cox, but was turned aside. Nordiques looking to get out of their own end, aren't quite able to, held on to by Constantine on the far side wall. Chips it into the corner where it's chased by Ryan Nichols for the team wearing blue. Nichols went D-to-D with Sandquist, now up the near side. Here comes Kogensmark for the Nordiques. Riggs lays a hit, and it gets played around to the far side corner where dropping down Nichols pushes it back down towards Riggs. Now Constantine up to Dylan Rakes, taking off his stick. Trevino now shut down by Cox on the near side wall. Bowden comes in to help out, but he gets pushed up to the blue line, and Sandquist will give chase. Sandquist in his own end will go D-to-D. They'll gain the red line. Cox takes away the dump-in opportunity. And fresh on the ice, Ryan Sachs will give chase. Connor Corcoran back for the Nordiques. Far side, taken away by Sachs. And whistled down. Hooking is the call. The question is, who is it going against? And it will be going against Ryan Sachs. So for the first time today, the Generals will go shorthanded. They're 0 for 1 on the power play. And it's Ryan Sachs who will sit 2 minutes for hooking. The penalty kill unit is Liam Hellier with Quinn Hollingsworth, Drew Weston, and Shane Stone. Now near side, Nordiques hold up top. Sandquist, top of the blue line, will go back down low to Corcoran. Corcoran, a shot blocked down by Stone at the circle. Pushed into the corner where it's picked back up by the forward wearing 29, Trevino. Stone hits a player, that's Trevino, into the net, and so it comes off its moorings, and we'll get a face-off with 1:39 to go in this Nordiques power play. Wyatt Magruder will join the effort. He'll take Hollingsworth's spot. He'll also take the face-off, so it'll be Magruder and Bonnick for the Nordiques. Magruder looks like he's talking a little bit, but he still wins the face-off back. Sandquist can't keep it in the zone. Now the Nordiques will have to give chase. 1.5 minutes remaining in this Nordiques power play. Near side, Corcoran into the offensive end. A quick shot, he scores! Corcoran used Stone, the defenseman, as a screen, and he chose the far side post and banked it into the back of the net, past the netminder, John Feely. The Nordiques strike on the power play, even in the game at 1 apiece with 11:57 to go in this opening period. So it'll be Aiden Hellier in the face-off circle. He faced off against Brandon Roa. Roa got the best of him. Now Owen Fleming can't clear the zone. Roa pushing it to the near side corner and playing it around to his line mate, number 91. That's actually the defenseman, Troy Statscar. Now here comes Connor Jalbert in the offensive end. Thrown in front looking for Aiden Hellier. The two couldn't connect. Now it's picked back up by Waleski on the far side. Pushed into the corner. Now below the goal line where Cameron DeLazio meets him. Far side corner, breakout pass, shut down for the moment. DeLazio got out of the zone, picked back up by Jalbert on the near side in front. Jalbert cutting across, loose puck, and it gets pushed into the near side corner. Castagno regains possession of his own stick. Puck gets cleared down the length of the ice, and the official whistles it down for icing. So 11:06 to go in this first period. And the Nordiques capitalizing on the man advantage, evening the score at 1 apiece. The Gens will put back on Trevor Riggs and Ryan Cox, that top defensive pairing, with the Magruder line with Giuliani and Perillo on his wings. The officials go and they talk to head coach Eric Projan. While they get spoken to, we'll talk about the coaching staff for the Generals. Eric Projan, the head coach, Cody Gagnon, and Mike Rakes, the assistants. Brian Erickson, the president of Hockey Ops, and Matt Dibble, the general manager. Joining them on the bench is Dylan Trelligan, the team's athletic trainer. So Magruder and Marcotte in the faceoff circle. Magruder wins it back. Now Riggs near side, top of the circle. This shot goes off the glass. Finds Giuliani on the far side wall. Now Cox's shot. Couldn't pull the trigger cleanly, so it gets blocked by Marcotte. Picked back up by Giuliani. Now here come the Nordiques into the offensive end. Big hit laid by Cox. The official not a fan of it. It was on Bowden. And so Cox is going to go sit for 2 minutes. Interference, the call. So 10:46 remaining in this first period. The Generals, who just surrendered a power play goal, will have to kill off another penalty. It'll be Riggs with Sachs, Shane Stone, and Quinn Hollingsworth on the penalty kill. We're waiting for something to happen. I assume it's the first penalty being taken off the board. It's not. They'll start going. Sandquist, middle of the blue line. His long shot blocked in front by Stone. Riggs gives chase to the corner, pushing off the forward Suvarev and into the neutral zone where it's played back by the Nordiques defenseman. Sachs gives chase. That's Corcoran. He'll leave it off. Now near side, Bonnick gains the red line. Now the offensive zone. Near side, Bonnick puts the brakes on, drops it for Sandquist. Sandquist near side wall, thrown in front, finds the stick of Corcoran, who couldn't find it cleanly. And Bonnick tries to push it back down lower. He's able to. Back to Corcoran up top. Corcoran will hold near side now, giving away to Sachs. Chipped, he finds. That's Quinn Hollingsworth, who wasn't able to reach the puck, and so the teams will regroup. Nordiques still on the power play for another minute in front. Shut down by Owen Fleming, the backdoor pass. Now a quick shot goes off the back of the netting. It laid by the Generals defenseman, Drew Weston. Liam Hellier goes down in the neutral zone. Trevino in the area, and he's going to sit for 2 minutes. The call is tripping, and 47 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey will follow, followed by a Generals power play. The Hellier brothers, Liam and Aiden, the two forwards on the ice for the Generals with the extra space. They'll have Drew Weston and Owen Fleming as their defensemen. So 4-on-4 hockey for 47 seconds. Puck drop, held on to by the Nordiques, and taking it back towards his own end is Kogensmark. Kogensmark now on the near side. Enters the offensive end. Will Marcotte with possession. Fleming now in the near side corner. Weston comes in to help out. Weston playing the body near side wall. Hard on Jake Kogensmark. Aiden Hellier joins Weston. Kogensmark taking some effort to get the puck away from him, and it's pushed back through the neutral zone where it's held onto by DeLazio. Now far side, pushed back in the near side. Will Marcotte into the offensive end. Kogensmark now, a shot, gets the best of Feely, the rebound in front. Feely makes a beautiful save, stretching out that pad. Now the Generals go on the power play for 1:10. Cox out of the penalty box. Connor Jalbert finds it in the offensive zone. Cox now behind the net, thrown in front, Sachs, he scores! Ryan Sachs, a power play goal, and the Generals regain their lead 2-1. Connor Jalbert chased the puck into the far side corner, found Ryan Cox behind the net, who threw it just in front to where Ryan Sachs was waiting for it. And Sachs, as fast as it was on his stick, it was off and in the back of the net. The Gens now lead 2-1 on the back of that latest power play goal. Now Jalbert in the neutral zone. In the offensive end, near side, Aiden Hellier, a shot. Save made by the netminder Castagno. Hellier regains his footing, now goes down in the corner again. Up the near side and pushed down to Ryan Cox in his own end. Cox, fresh off the assist, will play it up the near side wall where it's held onto by Woleski. Pushed down towards Riggs. Now Woleski looks to clear his zone. He's unable to. A good play by Kennedy on the near side of the blue line to keep it in. Now Trevor Riggs, who scored the Generals' first goal this afternoon, he'll take a trip to the offensive end. Plows over a Nordiques player. That was Sandquist who looked to lay a hit, and now he regains possession. Riggs keeps it in the blue line. Aiden Hellier with it now in the middle of the slot, pressured by Roa. Far side, bottom of the circle, keeps it going to the near side corner. Aiden Hellier still with it now. In the slot, a shot in and out of the glove of the netminder. Rebound still loose in front. Now Kennedy finds it on the near side. He'll leave his own zone. Chip it to the far side corner and get off for a change. Nick Constantine back for the Generals. finds Shane Stone. Now it's held on to by Waleski. Looking for Brady Erickson through the neutral zone. Picked back up by the Nordiques. Now a shot off the glove of Feely. Pushed back below the net. Picked up by Owen Fleming on the near side corner. Fleming leaves it for Stone. Pushed up to Waleski, and Erickson will give chase to the far side. Brady Erickson forechecking on the defenseman Ryan Nichols. Nichols up the near side. Shut down by Dylan Rakes and offside, says the official. 6:45 remaining in this first period. The Generals struck first, while even strength. Then the Nordiques scored on the power play. They tied it at 1. And then Ryan Sachs, a power play goal of his own, makes it 2-1 Generals in this first period. Constantine in the face-off circle for Northeast. It's one back with the help of Liam Hellier. Hellier and Constantine on the far side. Push it into the far side corner. Played around. Dylan Rakes couldn't stop it. Now through the neutral zone. Trevino shut down by Liam Hellier. Trevino can't get past Hellier again. Hellier pushes it back into the offensive zone. Trevino will lead the regroup. Taken away by Nick Constantine. Constantine pushes it into the corner around the back of the net. Nichols will play it back to the near side where it's held onto by his defensive partner Deluzzo. Fleming near side. Finds Garrett Greenwood. Greenwood will go off the far side wall. Taken back by Alexander Suvorov. Now Deluzio in the offensive zone, working 1-on-4. His shot gets blocked by Magruder. Greenwood gives chase to the far side corner. And it's cleared back into the neutral zone by the Generals and A.J. Perula. Now far side corner. Couple players going at it on the ice. Delayed penalty. And holding the call. And it is against the Nordiques. More specifically, it's against Connor Corcoran, who will sit for 2 minutes. And the Nordiques coaching staff not very happy about it. Looking for an explanation as their team will look to keep another one out of the net and keep this game at 1 goal apiece, or 2-1, sorry. The Nordiques NA team walking into the building ahead of their 7 p.m. matchup with the Generals on the primary rink. We'll be here on Hockey TV. Giuliani off the face-off. Jen's on the power play with 5:29 to go in the period. Held onto by Waleski. Now top the blue line. Cox back to Waleski. Connor Jalbert now. Waleski again, middle of the slot. Waleski near side now. Will walk towards the middle. Goes the far side. Jalbert will hold. Jalbert a shot, looking for a tip in front from Giuliani. Waleski will drop down to find the rebound at the hash mark. Now Ryan Sachs across. Ryan Cox down below the net. Found by a Nordique player. Cox. And now Giuliani shuts it down. Back up to Cox. Can't pull the trigger. Fans on the shot. Keeps it in the zone. But getting it out was Kogensmark. And offsides are the Generals. So 4:48 remaining in this first period. 1:13 on the Generals power play. It'll be the Hellier brothers, Aiden and Liam, with Quinn Hollingsworth, Owen Fleming, and Drew Weston, the defenseman, on the neutral zone face-off. One back by Aiden Hellier. Now Drew Weston far side will ring it around the boards. Out of his cage is Braxton Castagno to play it. Picked back up by Hollingsworth near side. Up to Fleming at the blue line. Back to Hollingsworth, top of the circle. Quinn Hollingsworth a shot. Save made and rebound held on to by Castagno. And so we'll get a face-off just in front of the glove side of Braxton Castagno with 55 seconds remaining on the power play. Same unit for the Generals. The Helliers with Hollingsworth, Weston, and Fleming. Aiden Hellier wins another face-off back. Now Fleming across to Weston. A shot off the paddle of Castagno and into the netting. And so we'll do it all again, this time from the far side face-off circle, and with only 49 seconds remaining in the power play. Hellier, 3 straight face-off wins. Now Weston near side. Fleming, middle of the blue line. Back to Weston on the far side. In front, looking for Liam Hellier. Goes off his stick into the corner. Liam Hellier refines it. Hellier across. Now Fleming, middle of the blue line. Fleming pressured, holds possession. Leaves it for Weston, far side. Weston, quick feet down the boards. Finds Aiden Hellier. Hellier back to Weston. Weston from the circle. Quick shot goes wide. Hollingsworth now looks to send it down, but Trevino shuts it down. Him and Aiden Hellier battle for possession. Pushed up 2-0 in Fleming. 12 seconds remain on the power play. Aiden Hellier near side, half wall. Up top, Fleming, middle of the blue line, far side, Weston. 5 seconds on the power play clock. Fleming down low, Aiden Hellier back to even strength. Hollingsworth gives chase to the far side corner. The Nordiques can't get out of their own zone. Weston keeps it in, back down low to Hollingsworth. And it's picked back up by the defenseman Anderson Sandquist, who goes to the far near side. Now with speed, Will Marcotte into the offensive end. Taken away, that is Nick Constantine, who enters the offensive end. Takes a big hit, but pushes it into the offensive zone. Generals execute a line change. Now Brady Erickson into the offensive end. No offside, says the official, much to the dismay of the Nordiques bench. And Brady Erickson took a hit and looks to be down. The Generals will go back to the power play. Erickson regains his feet and will throw a hit. And he goes to the far side of the ice, throws his helmet, and will make his way to the penalty to the Generals locker room. So we'll see what the penalty situation looks like. Corcoran takes another seat in the penalty box. .258 remaining in this first period. Head coach Eric Projan getting an explanation. Brady Erickson had missed the start of the season out of the lineup due to an injury. And it obviously gets very frustrating. Looking to avoid those situations as the long season continues through. Nothing on the board just yet. Only one player sitting in the box for the Nordiques. No one other than the backup goalie, Cade Rose, in the box for the Generals. And if I had to bet, it was going to be a 2-minute minor on Corcoran, and then Brady Erickson, who threw the extra punch afterwards, gets a 2-minute minor for roughing. And so the two will offset. Nothing goes on the board, and it stays 5-on-5 hockey. That's what we have. Magruder in the face-off circle, one back. Now off the face-off. DeLazio can't clear the zone. On the half wall, held on to by Quinn Bowden. Now on the near side, they get out of their end, but it goes straight to Trevor Riggs on the near side wall. Riggs up to Magruder in the neutral zone. Magruder into the offensive end, off the wall, down to Giuliani. Giuliani behind the net, far side corner now, holds on. Top of the blue line to Riggs. Riggs, a quick shot off the stick of a Nordiques player and into the ceiling. And so the face-off will stay inside. .227 remaining in this first period. The Generals lead the Nordiques 2-1. In this first of two matchups between the Generals and Nordiques. It's the 18U Academy teams right now. Then at 7 on the primary rink and Hockey TV, it's the NAHL teams in an East Division matchup right here in Attleboro. Battle for possession on the near side, half wall. DeLazio will push it to the far side. Can't clear their zone. Magruder lays a hit. Now a 2-on-1, a quick shot from Giuliani goes high and wide off the glass. Trevor Riggs in the neutral zone, can't get it past the Nordiques forechecker. Now Giuliani once more. Perillo in the area, Riggs jumps in, and he's finally the one that finds it. He'll gain the offensive end and ring it around the boards. No one home except for the Nordiques Suvorov, and now they come to the offensive end. Shut down, Trevor Riggs, near side corner, across the ice, finds Connor Jalbert in the offensive end, but icing is called, and so it'll come all the way back down the far side of the ice for a face-off in the general zone. We'll go to the glove side of John Feely. Aiden Hellier in the circle. Hellier with Jalbert and Woleski. Shot blocked by Connor Jalbert. He'll push it to the far side corner. First one on it is a player wearing blue. Now near side. Kenny, taken away by Jalbert. Jalbert near side, top of the circle, back down Woleski, back in front. Aiden Hellier tipped it just wide. Jalbert up the blue line. Drew Weston will hold and walk. Quick shot off the pad of the netminder Castagno. Rebound gets pushed to the far side, and the net comes off once more. With exactly 1 minute remaining in this first period, the Gens still lead 2-1. It was Ryan Sachs who makes his way on the ice now on the power play, who regained the Generals' lead. Fleming and Greenwood, the defensemen, the forwards, that top line, Liam Hellier and Quinn Hollingsworth, centered by Ryan Sachs. 1 minute remaining. Face-off won by the Nordiques. Picked back up by Liam Hellier in the near side corner. Shakes off a hit. Ryan Sachs regains it. Quick shot. Liam Hellier looking for a tip. Wasn't able to connect with the puck. 47 seconds now in the period. Sachs makes a move. A shot blocked away by Castagno. Rebound still in that far side corner. Now up top to Greenwood, who wants to back into the neutral zone off a skate and into the Generals' end of the ice. Owen Fleming across to Garrett Greenwood. Liam Hellier on the far side wall. Pushed back in by Roa for the Nordiques. Now Hellier looks to clear his own zone. He will with speed. Gains the red line. Now the offensive end near side to Hollingsworth. 15 seconds remain on the clock. Down to Liam Hellier. Back up the wall. Owen Fleming. 10 seconds on the clock. Fleming down to Hollingsworth. In front looking for Sachs. It goes all the way to Greenwood at the blue line. Down to 4 seconds. Now Liam Hellier again behind the net. Absorbs a hit and the buzzer goes. And so we'll go to the first intermission with the Generals leading by 1. It was Trevor Riggs found the back of the net to open the scoring. And then later in the period, while tied at 1, Ryan Sachs made it 2-1 Generals on the power play. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. It's the Generals and the Nordiques at the Village. Welcome back into the New England Sports Village and YouTube Live. We're underway with second period action between the Generals and Nordiques 18U Academy teams. The Generals lead the Nordiques 2-1 after the first intermission. The Generals now going right to left across your screen, wearing their home white uniforms, white helmets, white jerseys, and socks with blue pants. The Nordiques left to right, wearing their road blues, blue helmets, jerseys, and pants with those red socks. Now Ryan Cox in his own end. Jake Rogensmark up to the blue line where it's held onto by Sandquist and sent back down low. Riggs in the area, taken back by Kogensmark. Back up top, Sandquist will take a trip across the blue line, fake the shot. Now it's Kogensmark with the shot, and the rebound goes to the near side for Connor Corcoran. Held onto by Bowden. Back up to Corcoran, far side, Sandquist now. All Nordiques momentum in the first minute of this second period. Trevor Riggs takes it away for the Generals. Will chip it high in the air and down the length of the ice. No icing, says the official, and so the Generals will execute a full 5-player line change, but quickly comes back their way. Shane Stone in his own end, taken back by the Nordiques. Perillo now will leave his own zone to the far side, finds Giuliani. Enzo Giuliani, a shot, rebound loose in front. Magruder winded up like he was gonna shoot the hardest shot in the history of hockey. Unfortunately for him, he missed the puck. Now it's Shane Stone up to Magruder and chipped into the Generals bench off of number 7 stick. And so the face-off will come to center ice with 7:18 remaining in this second period. So it's 7:18 remaining until the ice cut. They'll play half the game, so the entire first, half the second, cut the ice, then play the second half of the second and the third period. Perillo now up to Magruder. He'll go off the glass, giving chase. Nichols, he'll leave it for his defensive partner. Magruder shuts down the breakout chance. Still on the near side, Giuliani and Trevino go at it, and now Bonik will give it off to his line mate, Suvorov. His shot goes just wide. Now Trevino in the near side corner absorbs a hit from Magruder. Magruder leaves it for Perillo. Played around. Giuliani can't catch it, and it's going back to Trevino in the corner. Weston now pushes it ahead. Over to Magruder, who plays it off the glass, high in the neutral zone. DeLazio now will take a trip to the offensive end. Across the blue line, will toe drag into a shot that gets blocked. Now Roa on the side of the net, thrown in front, they score. John Feely had respected the opportunity for Braden Roa on the side of his cage, and it left the net empty for Alexander Suvorov, who was waiting for possession, and once he had it, he had that empty net to shoot at and made it 2-2 with 6:18 remaining until the ice cut. Off the ensuing face-off, Connor Jalbert up the near far side wall, thrown in front. He was looking for Aiden Hellier, but instead found the glove of Braxton Castagno. So Aiden Hellier will take the face-off. He'll face off against Tyler Kenny. One back by Hellier. Now a shot off the stick. Brendan Woleski gets turned aside. Connor Jalbert below the goal line. Aiden Hellier a chance. Save made. Net comes off. So the face-off will stay on the near side of the Nordique zone. Back and forth hockey in this first matchup between the Nordiques and Generals. 7 p.m. I can't say it enough. It's the NAHL teams on Hockey TV. Or if you're in the area, come out to the Village. Watch some very good hockey. Nordiques into the offensive end. Owen Fleming shuts it down. Up to Oleski, taken now Aiden Hellier. Hellier to the near side. Connor Jalbert with a step off his stick. Negates the icing, now in front, looking for Hellier. The two weren't able to connect. Now Jalbert, Hellier, he scores! Backdoor Aiden Hellier received the pass from Connor Jalbert. It makes it 3-2 Generals. Connor Jalbert forced a turnover in the near side corner of the Nordiques zone. Held it, moved towards the net. Castagno had to respect him. That left Aiden Hellier backdoor. Fired it past the glove of Castagno and makes it 3-2 Northeast. The Nordiques hold possession off the face-off. They chip it to the general zone where Trevor Riggs will chase it. Riggs up the near side wall, will leave his own end. Off the wall he puts it. Too far for Sachs to hold, so Corcoran will play it up. Now Sachs finds it back in the neutral zone on his own half of the ice. Now he pushes it to the offensive end. Corcoran in the area, couldn't keep him out of the zone. Liam Hellier tried laying a hit, wasn't successful. Sachs chases once more through the neutral zone. And now it goes back to Cox in the Generals' end of the ice. Riggs will leave it for Hellier. That's Liam Hellier in the offensive end, near side in front. Sachs a shot, he scores! Sachs tucked it between the body and the glove of Castagno. His second goal of the game, and the Generals lead 4-2 with 4:47 to go until the ice cut. Liam Hellier had it on the near side. And the puck found its way to Ryan Sachs. And Castagno will take a seat on the bench. His night's over. Ryan Prikarski will take his place in the cage for the Nordiques. A couple of NA3 Generals behind Pekarski's cage. The NA3 Gens picked up another win today. The 200th in head coach Darryl Locke's NA3 and Northeast Generals career. Now the Nordiques enter the offensive end. Shot gets blocked by Shane Stone. Stone will leave it for Weston, now across the way. It's picked back up by Dylan Rakes, pushed back into the zone. His number seek. Jace Cohen-Smark pushes it back into the offensive end. Cohen-Smark loses possession. Nick Constantine near side. Aiden Hellier offside, says the official, so it shuts it down with 4:06 to play before the ice cut. Both teams take the opportunity to change their lines. Greenwood and Fleming, the defensemen for the Generals. Wyatt McGruder with Perillo and Giuliani for the Generals. Face-off won by Will Marcotte and the Nordiques. McGruder keeps it in the offensive end. Off the backhand, way high in the air. It went over the netting, but off of the air duct and back into play. So the face-off will come right back to where it was. Now south of 4 minutes to play. McGruder looked like he wasn't quite set. Puck was dropped. Generals re-find it. Perillo will throw it into the near side corner. Back for it is the defenseman Sandquist. Sandquist up to Suvorov on the near side. The Nordiques through the neutral zone. Suvorov, who scored the latest Nordiques goal, to the far side. A shot onto Feely gets turned aside. It came off the stick of Tyler Kenny. Fleming will play it around to Garrett Greenwood. Jumping down, Connor Corcoran will keep it in. He gets helped out by Kenny. Taken back by Fleming. Perillo now in the neutral zone. Taken by Suvorov. Fleming regains it. Owen Fleming to the near side. Finds Wyatt McGruder, who chips it to negate the icing. Now Sandquist near side. Can't clear his zone quite immediately. Woleski almost caused the turnover. Now Sandquist gets it up to the winger cutting. That's Will Marcotte. Marcotte's pass in front for Suvorov gets shut down into the near side half wall. Found back by Jalbert. Now here comes Aiden Hellier. Far side, Woleski into the offensive end. Hellier a chance. Couldn't quite tip it on net, and it goes back up the near side wall. Cox's shot from the blue line got blocked. Now the Nordiques through the neutral zone, looking to stretch Suvorov. Wasn't able to catch the pass, and offsides called. Suvorov was still in the general zone. So 2:37 to go in this second period before the ice cut. We'll get another 9 minutes of second period action after the ice cut. But the Generals lead 4-2. Bonnick and Aiden Hellier, the face-off takers, just outside the general zone. Bonnick kicked out. Trevino will take it for the Nordiques. Aiden Hellier pushes Trevino back, taken by Bowden, but offsides, says the far side official, and so we'll do it all again. So now Bonnick and Hellier will take the face-offs. Bonnick wins it back, wearing an A on his chest for the Nordiques. Pushed back where John Feely can play it behind his net. Trevor Riggs now leaves it for Cox. Ryan Cox up the near side to Connor Jalbert off the wall. Aiden Hellier takes it. Now a 3-on-1, make it 2-on-1. Woleski near side back door. Aiden Hellier couldn't tip it home. Now Riggs a tough angle chance. Held on to by the netminder Ryan Perkarski in his first action of the game. And on comes the top line of Hollingsworth with Sachs and Liam Hellier. Chipped out of play and onto the Generals bench. Head coach Eric Projan and president of Hockey Ops Brian Erickson jumping out of the way. Brian Erickson, the head coach of the NA team. As Quinn Hollingsworth's shot turned aside. The defenseman now, Cameron DeLazio, looks to clear his own zone. He's not able to the first time. Now he refines it. He will this time. He'll skate into the offensive end. A shot, though, goes wide off of a couple shin pads. Now Shane Stone up to Ryan Sachs. Sachs with Liam Hellier into the offensive end. Ryan Sachs' shot turned aside by the netminder. Roa leaves it for his defenseman, taken back by Shane Stone. Liam Hellier goes down. Stone will retreat back to the neutral zone, and Roa will leave his own end. Stone looked to lay a big hit, but Roa got out of the way just at the last minute. Now Drew Weston looks at his options, goes to Liam Hellier on the near side. Across the ice, Hollingsworth now, pressured by a couple of Nordiques. Hollingsworth keeps it, goes back to Liam Hellier. Back, curling to his own end. Finds Shane Stone. Now Drew Weston up to Hellier. Chipped up ahead. Quinn Hollingsworth in the offensive end. Shakes off a hit from Corcoran in the near side corner. Nick Constantine comes to help out. Under a minute remaining in this first period. Hollingsworth, a wraparound attempt thrown in front, and Connor Jalbert finishes it. Constantine had possession in the near side corner. Found Hollingsworth, who wrapped it around. Perkarski was so worried about Jalbert tucking it on the wraparound that in front, Connor Jalbert was left alone, and he banged it home, making it 5-2 Generals with 51 seconds remaining to the ice cut. It'll be Constantine with Jalbert and Dylan Rakes with Fleming and Greenwood on the ensuing faceoff. Constantine wins the faceoff. Greenwood now with 50 seconds up towards Rakes, chipped off his stick and into possession of the Nordiques. Rakes now in the offensive end, cuts off the breakout pass, but takes a player down, and he's going to go sit in the penalty box, a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. So a late opportunity for the Nordiques with only 39 seconds until the ice cut. And should they not score in the next 39 seconds, they'll have about a minute 20 of power play time on fresh ice. Magruder with Greenwood, Giuliani, and Fleming, the penalty killers for the Generals. Magruder quarterbacking where he wants his defenseman standing. He got it right. Greenwood off the face-off, plays it up the near side wall. It's held on to by Sovorov. Sovorov in the near side corner. Fleming pressures him, pins it against the boards. A trio of Nordiques in the area looking for it. Fleming holds it on the boards, goes off of it below the goal line towards Greenwood. Picked back up by Sovorov, now behind the net. Looking for space is Kogasmark. Sovorov now, and play gets whistled down as the net comes off its moorings once more on that far side. And with 13 seconds to go until the ice cut, we'll get another face-off. The Generals will change their unit. Aiden Hellier with Ryan Cox and Trevor Riggs come on. Wyatt Magruder, who's really become the face-off specialist for the Generals, will stay on to take it. No face. Bonnick, he wins it back. Magruder, now Riggs in the corner, pushed up towards the blue line. Aiden Hellier will pin it against the boards with 3 seconds on the clock. And that's just about going to do it as the horn goes. So halfway through this contest, the Generals, they lead 5-2 over the Nordiques. The latest one, it was Connor Jalbert finishing on a backdoor pass from Quinn Hollingsworth. We'll be back following the ice cut here at the Village. It's the Generals and the Nordiques right here on YouTube Live. Welcome back into the New England Sports Village and YouTube Live. It's the Generals and the Nordiques as we get ready for the second half of the second period. Here on the secondary rink at the Village. The Generals leading 5-2, though they're going to have to kill off a minute 39 of penalty kill time, with Dylan Rakes still serving his 2 minutes for cross-checking. Woleski and Silverov in face-off circle were underway. Silverov snaps it back. The Nordiques will make their way to the neutral zone, moving left to right across your screen, wearing their road blue uniforms. The Generals, right to left, wearing their home whites. Connor Corcoran in the near side corner, up to Sandquist. Back down to Corcoran. Sandquist again, middle of the blue line, down to Corcoran, who can't catch the pass cleanly. Now Drew Weston will get his feet moving. Up top, Woleski, far side, shakes off the defender, and it goes just wide, but the net comes off its moorings, and so we'll get a face-off. Just under 30 seconds, over 30 seconds gone, 37 seconds gone in the second half of the second. 8:23 remaining in the period. Ryan Sachs, who's got 2 goals today, will take the face-off for the Generals. Quinn Hollingsworth on his left with Greenwood and Fleming on defense. Face-off won by the Nordiques, taken back by Sachs. Sachs, far side corner, curls away from the defenseman, but in to help out Corcoran, regains it for the Nordiques. He'll get his feet moving through the defensive zone, gain the red line, now the offensive end, near side half wall. Corcoran now will take a trip around the offensive end, play it up to the defenseman, wearing number 22, Sandquist. Now up top is Jake Kogensmark. Back to Sandquist, back down low, now in front. A good shot from Corcoran got turned aside by Feely. Ryan Sachs will clear his own zone with 20 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Into the offensive end, Sachs poked off his stick. He'll take it back to his own end and play it back up the ice towards the wall. Kogensmith into the general zone, played up to Sovorov. Sovorov a shot, save made by Feely. Rebound taken by Trevor Riggs, who clears his own end with his feet. Back to even strength with Rakes out of the penalty box. And the Nordiques look to progress up the ice, unable to. Now here comes Enzo Giuliani. Giuliani, far side, a toe drag, shut down by the defenseman Sandquist with the skate. And he'll look to clear his own zone. Suvorov near side, curls away from Wyatt Magruder. Goes back to Sandquist. His breakout chance knocked down by Magruder and pushed back in that far side corner where Suvorov regains it for Maine. Now Will Marcotte out of his own zone, near side. He'll carry it into the offensive end. Marcotte down into the corner. Playing off of Ryan Cox. Wyatt Magruder played up Suvorov at the blue line. A shot gets blocked by Perillo. And now into the offensive end comes Enzo Giuliani. He'll chip and chase Suvorov back. Joining him is his defensive partner, Statskar, taken back by Giuliani. One try knocked down. The second try goes to the side of the net, and it comes off its moorings. And so we'll get another stoppage in play with 6:17 remaining in the second period. The NAHL Generals, along with the NAHL Nordiques, both teams making their way into the building. They'll go at it at 7 p.m. on the primary rink on Hockey TV. I'll be there with Brett Schaubs on the call. Or if you're in the area, come on out to the Village. Cheer on the Generals. Nordiques hold off the face-off from their own end. They make their way down the ice. John Feely out of his cage to play it. Trevino in the corner, taken away. Now Shane Stone in the near side. Stone off the glass. Nichols controls in his own end now on the regroup. Nichols taken by Jalbert. Connor Jalbert scored a goal in the first half of the second. Finds Drew Weston, whose shot goes wide. Now Stone once more in the neutral zone. Shades off a hit from Trevino. Played back up towards Stone. Stone falling to his knees. Trevino refines it. Now Woleski to Weston. Now Connor Jalbert. through the neutral zone. Connor Jalbert kicks it forward. Connor Jalbert with numbers finds Aiden Hellier, whose chance is knocked down. It's the netminder now. Braxton Castagno, it looks like, back in net for the Nordiques. He was pulled in the first half of the second after surrendering the 4th goal of the game. Near side half wall, Woleski in the corner in front looking for Aiden Hellier. It goes off his stick, and now the Nordiques come back the other way. Kogan Smark takes a hit from Drew Weston. Garrett Greenwood gives chase. Now Corcoran goes down. Big hit by Weston in the near side corner, and the Generals make their way out of their zone. Bowden goes D to D with his partner. Taken back by Jalbert and the Generals. Jalbert into the middle of the zone. Knocked down by number 98, Cameron DeLuzio. And now the Nordiques will progress up the ice. Corcoran up the near side on his forehand, shut down by Greenwood with 4:27 remaining in the period. Generals make their way back up. Ryan Sachs, 2 goals tonight, up to Quinn Hollingsworth, taken away by Suvorov. And taken back by the Generals. Penalty is called. Interference is the call. And it's going to be called on Liam Hellier. Brady Erickson, who left the ice in that first period, is wearing his street clothing, but the positive and every negative is, while he might not return today, the good news is he's back and joined his team on the far side of the ice. 2-minute penalty kill for the Generals. Magruder loses the face-off, but it's held on to by Feely. And so we'll do it all again, just with 4 seconds less on the clock. 4:11 until the intermission, 1:56 on Hellier's interference penalty. This time Magruder wins the face-off. Riggs comes in and helps out. Still a battle for possession. Taken on the far side of the net by Bowden. Played to the near side. Sandquist at the blue line gets away from Magruder. Down into the corner. Now played up top where Kogensmark couldn't keep it in the zone, so Sandquist gives chase. Sandquist goes to the far side. Back to him. Magruder and Enzo Giuliani on the forecheck. Kogensmark now near side through the neutral zone, but his pass too hot to handle, so John Feely will play it back around. Kogensmark up to Sandquist, back down to Kogensmark, top of the near side circle, a shot off of Feely's blocker. Picked back up on the far side by Ryan Nichols. Nichols, far side, top of the circle, his shot goes wide of the cage and makes its way through the neutral zone down to the Maine end of the ice. Enzo Giuliani gets off for a change. Aiden Hellier and now Quinn Hollingsworth, the forwards on the Generals penalty kill. Trevor Riggs will wrap it around the boards, and fresh on the ice, unable to stop it, Cameron DeLuzio. And so it forces Ryan Pekarski back to play it. Now Suvorov, 2-on-1, back door, good opportunity. Nice save made by the netminder Feely. Keeps this game at a 3-goal deficit with 30 seconds remaining on the Generals penalty kill. Kenny now up top. DeLuzio can't catch the pass, and it goes all the way down the ice. And you can see it on the coach of the Nordiques, his expression not too thrilled with the lack of opportunities on this power play. Here's one for the Generals, though. Weston in the slot, shakes off a hit from Sandquist. Jumping in, Shane Stone couldn't keep it in the zone for long. Kenny into the offensive end. 2 seconds remaining on the power play. Cleared aside by Aiden Hellier as we go back to even strength. Now on the far side, Marcotte crisscrosses with DeLuzio. Shot from the outside gets blocked. And now Suvorov, pressured by a couple of Generals. Marcotte comes in to help out. Near side to Suvorov. Stone off the boards, absorbs a hit, finds Connor Jalbert. Jalbert with Hollingsworth into the offensive end. Hollingsworth tried finding Jalbert back in the slot. He was tied up with Bowden, who regains possession in the far side corner. Near side it goes for Sandquist. Across the ice, back to the far side. Marcotte into the offensive end. Taken back. Nick Constantine wearing white off the boards just by his bench. He chases into the corner. Now Jalbert pressured hard by a defenseman wearing blue as the Nordiques make their way out of their own end once more. Through the neutral zone is Marcotte. He'll gain the red line and throw it in on towards Feeney. Greenwood up the near side wall as we tick down towards a minute until the intermission. It's taken back by Trevino. He goes to his defenseman, and now Connor Corcoran trying to get away from Brendan Woleski. Up the near side, Statskar will leave it on to Feely on the entrance to the zone. Garrett Greenwood, near side corner, off the skate of the official. Back into the Nordiques' possession. Greenwood gives chase. 41 seconds remaining in the period. Woleski chips it out of his own end. Aiden Hellier gives chase. Make that Liam Hellier wearing number 18. Liam started the season wearing 45. 25 seconds remaining in the clock. Liam Hellier near side with Garrett Greenwood. Taken back by the Nordiques. Liam Hellier regains it. Now he'll make his way through the neutral zone. Hellier with Hollingsworth. Liam Hellier a toe drag, but read perfectly by the defenseman. That's DeLuzio. With 8 seconds remaining in the period, a battle for possession goes to Ryan Sachs. Sachs, a wraparound chance. Loose puck in front. Whistle not blown yet. There it goes as the buzzer sounds. The net came off its moorings. And with 1 period to play, the Generals lead the Nordiques 5-2. We'll be back right here on YouTube Live for third period action here at the Village. Well, I missed the start of the period. Lily Raimondo, the director of social media, walked into the rink and she said, "Hey, I need an extra microphone from you." So I had to go help her out. She filmed some amazing content with all the Generals players here in Attleboro, not just the NA team, but the NA3 and the Academy teams. So the Generals and Nordiques both executing line changes. Puck gets sent down the length of the ice, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play and a chance for me to reaffiliate myself with my surroundings with 16:47 remaining in regulation. So the faceoff will come just to the blocker's side of John Feely. Wyatt Magruder, who's been good in the faceoff circle tonight, wins it back. Feely will hold on, so we'll do it again. It is Magruder with Perillo and Giuliani. His defenseman is Trevor Riggs and Ryan Cox. Cox plays it around for Perillo. It goes all the way down the length of the ice, and icing is called, so we'll do it again. Third time's the charm, right? The 18 team were supposed to play tomorrow. That game isn't going to happen. The 16s for the Generals are back in action tomorrow. We'll get a time for you all. Meanwhile, Cox in the offensive end. Good save made by the netminder, and it's turned aside into the neutral zone. Riggs and Cox collide, gives an opportunity for Kenny, and front Trevino scores. Riggs and Cox had collided in the neutral zone, and it was off to the races from that point on for the Nordiques. Tomorrow at 4:40 on October 1st, the 16s will take on the New Hampshire Avalanche. And then on Sunday the 2nd at 11:30 a.m., it's the 16s. They're playing the Broncos Hockey Club. And at 1:30, these 18s will take on the Maine Nordiques once more. The ensuing face-off won by Aiden Hellier. It's now 5-3 Generals. A pass from Stone looking for Jalbert makes its way out of play. And so we'll get another center ice face-off with exactly 16 minutes to go in regulation. This time the Nordiques control off of it. Sandquist will leave for his defensive partner. Now on the near side, Aiden Hellier will push it back in. Sandquist goes back to that far side once more. Into the general zone. Back to the neutral zone. Corcoran back to Sandquist. Corcoran will hold in his own end again. Look at his options. He'll go back to Sandquist once more. And now up the ice. But no one held on to it. So icing is called. And it'll come back down towards the Nordiques end with 15 and a half to go in regulation. Woleski will take the face-off. Jalbert and Hellier, his wingers. Battle for possession, turns in to Trevino, leaving his own zone. Trevino will play it behind John Feely, off of his stick. And now Woleski on the near side, chipped up towards Jalbert into the neutral zone, refound by Woleski. He'll make his way into the offensive end to Jalbert, back to Woleski. Far side corner now, Brendan Woleski up top. Drew Weston now will take a trip down. Jalbert in the area, a duo for each team. Weston looks for it, pushes it down to Woleski in the corner towards the net. Woleski is shot off the side of the cage, chips it into the air, keeps it in the near side corner now, and now Corcoran will give chase to the far side. Weston chips down to lay a hit. Meanwhile, the puck goes all the way back down the length of the ice where Fleming plays up to Jalbert. Now near side, Woleski will leave it off for Aiden Hellier into the offensive end. Hellier near side corner will keep possession now on the far side, and we'll leave it for Ryan Sachs. Sachs below the goal line, curls back down low, now up the boards, looking for separation, but instead it gets taken away by a player wearing blue. Knocked out of the air by Nick Constantine in the general zone, taken back by DeLazio, and he has to retreat back to the neutral zone. DeLazio up the near side will gain the red line and send it in off the glass into the general's end where Feeney stops it behind the cage. Greenwood to Fleming now on the far side, up to Ryan Sachs, and picked back up by the goal-scoring winger, Alexander Suvorov for the Nordiques. Suvorov can't keep the zone. Sachs gets it to the red line, but that's about it. as it's sent back into the general zone, and Owen Fleming gives chase. Fleming reverses it to Garrett Greenwood. Greenwood will get his feet moving and leave his own end. Gain the red line, now the blue line, throws it towards the middle of the slot. Nichols shuts it down. Now Dylan rakes a long slap shot, redirected in front. Nick Constantine looked to bang it home, but a nice save made by the netminder. That was Braxton Castagno, who's still in the cage after he was replaced in the second period, but then came back on the ice after the ice cut. Now a long shot. Constantine with a tip. Might have gotten a piece of it, but it got turned aside by Castagno and cleared down the length of the ice, and icing called with 13:05 to go in this third period. So it'll come just to his blocker's side, his right side, our left side of the zone. Roleski will take the face-off. He'll win it back. Now Cox's shot, save made. Rebound is turned aside by Castagno again. Quinn Hollingsworth was the one that took the shot. He gets pushed up to the far side wall. Cox pinches in, but it goes back to Riggs in the neutral zone. Played off the near side wall. Liam Hellier lays a hit. Cox will go D to D, or now Cox has it. Riggs was the one that made the pass. Woleski goes down, draws a penalty, and the Generals are going to go on the power play. It's 2 minutes for hooking, and the guilty party is Braden Roa. So 12:39 to go in regulation. The Gens holding on to a 2-goal lead, looking to extend it to 3 on the man advantage. That man, Ryan Sachs, has a power play goal and an even strength goal today. He'll take the face off. Battle for possession off of it goes to Jalbert. Now Cox, far side of the blue line. Cox will take a shot, blockered away by Castagno, and Nichols looks to clear the zone. He's able to. And so giving chase back to his own end is Brendan Woleski. Ryan Cox will keep it himself through the middle of the zone, taken back by a player wearing blue. That's Will Marcotte, and the Generals will look to clear their own end. Ryan Cox once more behind his net, waiting. They set up their power play breakout. Woleski now near side through the neutral zone, will gain the offensive end. Hold possession, cut towards the net, down below in the far side corner. Woleski still with it. Sachs a shot from the slot, and stretching all the way out was the netminder Castagno. Lucky for him, the shot was not on target. Back is DeLazio. He tries to clear the zone. He's unable to. Picked back up by Enzo Giuliani. In the slot, Sachs' shot goes just wide. 50 seconds remain on the power play. Woleski up to Cox near side. Cox can't pull the trigger on a pass, and it gets cleared out of the zone. Connor Jalbert in the neutral zone, taken away by Bonnick. Near side, Bonnick working 1-on-3. Picked back up by Jalbert. He makes his way to the offensive end. Jalbert near side wall. Down low to Giuliani in the corner. Giuliani will hold. Cut his way up the boards. Find Connor Jalbert. Jalbert near side of the blue line. Down to Giuliani. Pushed back up to Jalbert. Jalbert cuts down low, near side half wall, up to the blue line. Slows things down. Now in the slot, Liam Hellier finds Aiden Hellier. Back up to Jalbert. 9 seconds on the power play. Aiden Hellier. Liam Hellier, a shot goes off the glass. Fleming, his pass for Jalbert was a bit off target. Goes to the neutral zone, and Jalbert threw it back in, so offsides called. Back to even strength, 10:36 remaining in this third period. And the face-off will come all the way back down to the general zone in front of John Feely. Feely, a native of Winthrop, Massachusetts, has played well tonight, helping his team to this 2-goal lead. Drew Weston through the neutral zone, a pass intended for Liam Hellier, got shut down. Feely forced to make a save and leaping onto the rebound to hold on to it. Kenny will take the face-off for the Nordiques. He'll actually leave it off for his winger in Suvorov. It was won by Aiden Hellier either way. Hellier looking to get out of his own zone. He does. Quinn Hollingsworth leaves for Liam Hellier. Liam Hellier, far side, a quick shot into the chest of Castagno. And so the Generals, who won a defensive zone face-off, will look to do the same now in the offensive end. Wyatt Magruder back in the face-off circle, wins it back. Drew Weston, a shot, goes just wide. Jumping on the rebound on the near side of the ice are the Nordiques. Weston now through the neutral zone up to Perillo. Perillo and Magruder next to each other. Given away and sent back down towards Shane Stone in his own end. Shane Stone will stop behind the net. Quickly up the ice towards Giuliani. Now Magruder in the offensive zone. Magruder holds in the slot, tried firing a shot, wasn't able to. Now Weston refines it. Weston to Stone. Stone a shot. He scores! It looked like it went in the net. Ref says no, so play continues. It definitely got behind the netminder in Castagno. It would have gone off both posts if it didn't go in the back of the net, but no one heard the post. I think Shane Stone just got cheated out of a goal. He'll hold possession on the near side. Finds Perillo in the middle of the neutral zone. Taken off his stick. Now Bannock up to Trevino, who goes down. And the Generals will go shorthanded once they touch up. Near side, DeLazio through the neutral zone. 6-on-5 while the delayed penalty stands. And now the whistle blows. Shane Stone will be the guilty party. He'll sit 2 minutes for tripping with 8:43 remaining in this third period. It'll be Riggs with Jalbert, Woleski, and Cox. The penalty killers for the Generals. Puck dropped. Cox holds onto it, and it's cleared out of the zone. Hey, you're not talking. You're not talking. You're working the camera right now. Jens hold in the offensive end. Woleski goes down, and we'll go to 4-on-4 hockey. Suvorov will sit for 2 minutes. Only 16 seconds had expired on Shane Stone's penalty, so it'll be 1:44 of even strength 4-on-4 hockey, then 16 seconds of a Generals power play. Face-off won back by Will Marcotte and the Nordiques. They look to progress up the ice quickly. Long stretch pass shut down by Riggs. He'll take a trip to the offensive end. Riggs to the far side, looking for Jalbert. Instead, the Nordiques coming in 2-on-2. That's Corcoran on the far side corner. He'll play it up to number 13, Koingsmark. Long shot from the acting defenseman, Will Marcotte, from the middle of the blue line, but it's held onto in the glove of John Feely. Both teams change up their units. Ryan Sachs with Quinn Hollingsworth, Owen Fleming and Garrett Greenwood for the Generals. Roa with Bonnick, Sandquist, and that should be Corcoran, that is, the 4 for the Nordiques. Make that Nichols, not Corcoran. Bonnick will curl back to his own end, give it to Nichols. Now Sandquist near side. A minute remaining of 4-on-4 hockey. Bonnick up to Roa, working 1-on-1 in the General zone. Pushes it to the far side corner. Roa now on the near side. Looked to curl away from Fleming, but blew a tire. So he goes down, and Fleming comes away with possession. 7:26 remaining in regulation. Fleming leaves it for Greenwood. Greenwood in his own end, up to Ryan Sachs. Now Quinn Hollingsworth. Owen Fleming joins the rush. Fleming, offensive end, finds Sachs in the slot, but it's pushed past below the goal line. Up top towards Fleming, taken back though by Sandquist. Sandquist chips off the boards into the near side corner. Sachs and Greenwood in for the Generals. Greenwood comes away with it off the boards to the neutral zone. Liam Hellier fresh on the ice. Delayed offsides, and it's whistled down with 6 seconds remaining in the Shane Stone tripping penalty. The Hellier brothers with Cox and Weston for the Generals. Trevino in the face-off circle. Aiden Hellier pushes it forward. Nordiques control. Hellier in the neutral zone, taken back by Trevino. A shot blocked by Weston in his midsection. Now a Gens power play for the next 10 seconds. Liam Hellier out of his own zone, up to Ryan Cox, near side. Now Woleski to the offensive end. And now we're back to even strength at 5-on-5 hockey. Liam Hellier curls back towards the boards at the near side of the blue line. Threw it down low for Woleski. Now Aiden Hellier controls on the far side corner. Down low, finds Liam. Up top to Aiden. Aiden looked to go between his legs, but it got taken away by a Nordique. Woleski can't keep the zone. The Nordiques make their way into the offensive end. It's the winger, Suvorov. Now with possession below the goal line, up to DeLazio. Taken back by Liam Hellier. Liam Hellier will use his feet, gain the red line. Now the offensive end, make a toe drag. Liam Hellier still with it. A backhand goes just wide. Gloved out of the air, up towards Fleming. Fleming away from one, finds another. That's held on to by Wyatt Magruder. Up top towards Fleming. Fleming will push it back off the wall. Woleski down towards Perillo. Perillo takes a big hit in the corner. And out of their own end come the Nordiques. Near side, it was Kogan Smark, shut down by the defenseman Riggs. Now Perillo goes down again. Woleski will make his way through the neutral zone. Delayed penalty, says the official on the far side. Perillo was caught by a leg in the leg. Looks to be a little shaken up, and no stranger to the penalty box. Connor Corcoran will sit 2 minutes for tripping. The official on the near side was involved in the collision. Looks to be okay. A little shaken up, but is shaking it off. Both coaches taking the opportunity to talk to their teams. And it looks like timeout officially is taken. And so we'll step aside. When we come back, the Gens go on the power play. They lead 5-3 with 5:10 remaining in regulation over the Nordiques right here on YouTube Live. out of the timeout. Both teams make their way down to the Nordiques zone. Sachs will take the face-off with Giuliani and Jalbert his wings. Woleski and Cox with possession on the blue line. 2-minute power play for the Generals. Sachs in the slot. Couldn't pull the trigger on the one-timer. Another chance from his knees. Goes just wide. Jalbert and Giuliani in the corner. Jalbert comes away with it. Near side corner now in front for Giuliani. And it pops up towards the blue line where it's poked out, and giving chase is Marcotte for the Nordiques. Woleski will hold his own end. Leaves it for Ryan Cox. Cox up the far side to Jalbert. Now near side, Woleski. Brendan Woleski in the offensive end. Holds on his forehand. Curls around. Holds in the far side corner. Woleski, the right-hand shot. Middle of the slot. Cox, a one-time blast from the blue line. Gets turned aside by Castagno. Can't clear the zone, though. Cox finds Woleski. Back to the slot. Giuliani fans on the 1-tee on the far side of the cage. And the Gens regain possession. Giuliani again. Up to Woleski. A shot goes just wide. It was actually Jalbert who pulled the trigger. Now down to Woleski. Near side half wall. In front, Giuliani. Get a tip. Turned aside. Now Woleski again. 45 seconds remaining on the power play. Giuliani trying to curl away from a Nordique defender. Giuliani refines it in the near side corner. Loses his stick and chips it to the far side. Kenny looks to clear his own zone. He's unable to. Glove down by his defenseman Jalbert and cleared out of the zone by the Nordiques. Icing called, and so we'll come back down to the Nordiques end of the ice. 21 seconds remaining in the power play for the Generals. 3:31 in regulation. The Hellier brothers with Quinn Hollingsworth, Drew Weston, and Owen Fleming now the power play unit. Won by Aiden Hellier. Fleming top the blue line will hold and look at his options. Fleming near side. Hollingsworth back to Fleming. Fleming middle of the blue line. Down towards Weston. Drew Weston into the corner. Leaves it for Aiden Hellier. 6 seconds remaining on the power play. Now Liam Hellier. Liam Hellier will cut towards the near side. Give it to Hollingsworth, whose pass gets shut down. Fresh out of the box, Corcoran causes a turnover, and now in the offensive end comes Trevino in the Nordiques. Trevino up top to DeLizio. Didn't quite get as far as DeLizio, but now on the far side, Liam Hellier will send it down onto the netminder and get off for a change. Hollingsworth gives the forecheck. Nordiques out of their own end. Weston pushes it back towards their end. Takes a hit, and now the Generals are going to go back on the power play. Trevino will sit 2 minutes for interference with 2:36 remaining in the third period. So back to that top unit that has struck already tonight. Ryan Sachs centering Enzo Giuliani and Connor Jalbert with Ryan Cox and Brendan Woleski on the back end. Marcotte will take the face-off for the Nordiques, won by Sachs. Now Cox off the wall down to Jalbert, now near side. Woleski a shot, save made. Giuliani finds it, trying throwing it in front, unable to. Still loose, Sachs scores! Puck stayed loose, and Ryan Sachs records the hat trick. His third goal of the game, his second on the power play, and the Generals lead 6-3. And the 16s throwing their hats onto the ice. So with 2:21 to go in regulation, the Gens extend it 6-3. Magruder wins the face-off back. Trevor Riggs will send it down into the Nordiques zone. Sandquist, the first one back, plays it the near side. Kenny now looks to clear his own end. He does, but quickly on him was Dylan Rakes, who sends it back in towards Castagno. Sandquist stops behind his net. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Kenny near side wall of his own end to DeLazio. Now Magruder has it. Quick shot. Shut down by Sandquist with the block in the slot. Riggs can't keep it in the zone, so Ryan Cox gives chase. John Feely will leave it for Cox. Cox through the middle of the ice towards Rakes. Dylan Rakes up to Wyatt Magruder, but DeLazio takes it away. Bonnick now taken back by Magruder, back towards Cox. He'll chip it on a cross-ice dump to the near side corner. 4 of the 5 Generals get off for a change that allows Kenny for a quick up the ice, but Shane Stone quickly in the area lays a hit. So now Drew Weston up towards Rakes, who will chip it in onto Castagno and get off for a change. Aiden Hellier gives chase. Now through the middle of the ice, Drew Weston shut down the pass for the moment, but gaining it and making his way into the offensive end is Sovorov. Sovorov shakes off a General, refinds it on the far side. Now Constantine lays a hit. Sovorov finds it again, pushed up to Enzo Giuliani and the Generals, and get out of their own end. Giuliani with Aiden Hellier, far side, down into the corner, now on the near side corner. Giuliani off the wall up to Shane Stone. He can't keep the blue line, so he'll lead the regroup over to Drew Weston. Weston up towards Constantine, and offsides called. Giuliani, who was still in the offensive end, was getting up after taking a hit in the corner. Faceoff comes out to the neutral zone just in front of the Nordiques bench with 32 seconds remaining in regulation. The Generals lead 6-3. This guy in the faceoff circle, Ryan Sachs, 3 goals of his own, 2 on the power play, the latest coming on the power play on a rebound in front. Now Greenwood, his own half of the red line, back towards Fleming on the D-to-D pass. Fleming will look to turn away from Trevino on the forecheck, bounces it to Greenwood, far side, cross-ice pass now to Hollingsworth on the near side, off the netting. No whistle from the official, so Trevino makes his way to the offensive end. Greenwood holds in the corner, 2 seconds on the clock, and they're gonna let the horn go, and the Generals, who were 3 for 3 last week, pick up a 6-3 win this week over the Nordiques. And a big hand in that was Ryan Sachs. 3 goals on the afternoon, 2 on the power play. And the Generals open up this Saturday, this Friday, 2-game Friday, with a 6-3 win over the Nordiques 18U Academy team. Next up at 7 on the primary rink and Hockey TV, it'll be the NAHL teams. The Generals look to make it 3 straight after 2 wins last week against the Johnstown Tomahawks, and look to make it 2 straight wins over the Nordiques. The last one coming up in Maine before the NAHL showcase 2 weeks ago. Well, for everybody here at the Generals, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in all weekend as the Academy teams play today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and the NAHL on Hockey TV tonight and tomorrow night against the Nordiques. For now,